And so I had to order some more. I got them in fairly quick. Had to do a filament order anyway, so I ordered these. Ordered some more nozzles. I got some decadent, whatever the little pebbles are to put in the AMS to dry things out. Desiccants. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I feel like I'm just not. My brain's not working right now. So Amanda just got done with her first live of the week. It's Wednesday. We had a few orders come in, but we think we had a few returns over the weekend and I guess yesterday and today. And we're thinking that TikTok is not pushing us out as much because we went from having no returns to like 4 or 5 returns in the span of like a week. So, and it's been just stupid things. People saying, one person said that it was whatever it was that they bought, I forget what it was too small, not as big as they thought it would be.
That's what she said.
And then the raven and the skull wouldn't stand up on its own. And I think, I know Amanda talks about that on our lives, and we sell it with the skull as well for that purpose. It's not a real animal. It's not going to stand up on its own. So yeah. So just stupid things like that they're returning. Some guy said that he ordered the cardinal, but didn't really mean to order the cardinal, and didn't tell us until it got almost to Hawaii. So, I don't know. I guess people are just like, we have warning labels on too many things, I think. I don't know. Anyway, TikTok is, we think, kind of punishing us for that. We're not sure. The numbers have been in the 20s and 30s. We dipped into the teens a few times. So whereas before, like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, we were in the hundreds. So yeah, noticeable difference there. But we also had been taking off time to do these events. And so by doing these events, we've not been able to go live as much. And I think the numbers have been dropping. So I think because of that, Amanda has not been live as long either. So usually we do like 2 hours, and she's been killing it at, or cutting it off at like an hour, hour and a half. So maybe we need to push it to 2 hours. We don't have another event for like a month. We can get our live numbers back up. So a quick Saturday check-in. Amanda went live today. She just got finished. She actually went for like 2.5 hours, I think, a little over 2.5 hours. We pulled in like, I want to say like 13 orders. So a lot better than what it has been over the past couple weeks. And of course, with the various events that we've done and all that, we haven't had a Saturday to really compare it to since, last month, I guess. So yeah, just curious down in the comments, is July usually a slow month for you guys? I've noticed just all of July has been kind of slow versus June and May even. It's starting to pick up. And it could just be TikTok messing with us, or it could just be a genuinely slow month. Kids are out of school for the summer. Maybe people are on family vacations. And, of course, it was a holiday weekend last weekend. So, yeah, just maybe some other factors going on. But just curious if you guys have been doing this for a while, if July is usually a slower month. I thought in retail it was not like the slowest month, but it wasn't it wasn't super slow. So, I don't know. But, again, today kind of makes up for this past week as far as our numbers go. Not quite, but kind of, we're getting there. So hopefully tomorrow will be just as good, and then maybe it'll start picking up for us after that. So it's Thursday. Amanda just finished her Thursday Night Live. She went live yesterday. She went live today. At the beginning, well, I guess last week we were kind of silent on YouTube. Had a lot going on. We launched like 2 or 3 new products. And we have been pushing those out, and we've got a video, I wouldn't say it's gone viral, but we have had a video go into probably 25,000 views, I think it is at this point. So kind of viral, but kind of not really. It depends on how you look at viral, right? So we've been getting quite a few orders of that product in, and I've been working on just pumping those out. And then on top of that, our normal lives, obviously, we're still doing. And so I'm still selling the Flexies. We have been selling a lot more minis though, so that's good. I feel like I can pump more minis out and get a little bit better price on the minis per what what it cost me versus what it costs them to buy. And I can make a ton more of them than I can, like say a large Flexi on a plate. So that's cool. And I think yesterday we got probably 13 orders, and then today it was about 12 or 13 orders as well on this live. So Amanda's actually starting to push it past 6. So we're doing like 4 to like 6:30, I think now. It's just because people are still there, still talking to her, still ordering, and so she's just staying on grinding. And she's been doing a really awesome job selling all the stuff, and so I'm just having trouble keeping up. Also, last week we didn't have much of anything to report on because TikTok decided that they did not want to push our stuff out last week. At least I'm thinking that's what happened, because we got 4 or 5 returns within a span of a week. And it was just stupid stuff. I feel like I may have mentioned some of this on the last video. So we dealt with that last week. For about a week and a half, I think, last week, we were taking kind of a hit to our numbers, to our lives, to our orders. So last week was kind of abysmal. Plus you had the holiday weekend that was before that. People were, still trying to recover from the 4th of July, fireworks, festivities, all that stuff, buying food, buying fireworks. And so I think a lot of that kind of played into it too. And so now they're starting to get their money back, and they're starting to kind of buy stuff now, right? So I that's probably part of it too. But our numbers have gone back up into the hundreds, hovering at about the 80s to 100s now that we've shipped out a lot more products and haven't had returns. Because I think after the returns came in, we had a bunch of other products shipped out and delivered, or delivered, and then 5-star reviews coming in like crazy. So I think TikTok finally was like, well, they're okay. I guess they just wanted to check and make sure we weren't fraudulent. We also had our pay from TikTok get pushed back to, I guess, delivery in plus 31 days, which kind of sucks. So this past week and a half, we haven't really had much going into the business account because most of our income right now is from TikTok. And so that should be, we just got that, I guess, bumped back to, I think it's delivery plus 8 days, I think. So that'll help a lot more because we'll start getting money back in the account. And it also opened my eyes up to, I was already thinking it, but it also opened our eyes up to we need to have more platforms we're selling on, right? And we sell on, we have a store on Whatnot, we have a store on Facebook and on all that, but I think we really need to kind of double down maybe on Whatnot, since it's a live selling platform, and we do the same thing on TikTok. Might as well just bite the bullet and do selling on Whatnot as well. And I think kind of alternating days or something, growing the audience. But yeah, I mean, the grinding's working. We're really grinding it out. This is day 2 of like a 12 or 13 order day. So really good to see. We had a lot of variation in products too. We had a lot more products to sell. So I think that helps. Amanda's not just showing the same, 10, 20, well, probably 20 or 30 products. It's more like 50 now that she's showing. So I think that's helpful. And the banter, of course, from me and her, me in the comments and her on the live, is also, I think, helping. And we're just building that audience and grinding. So good things, good things. Today is Friday. We did get these handy dandy new little mics to hopefully block out some of the sound. So you shouldn't be able to hear the printers in the background, but I don't know. There's 4 of them here. So we're currently in the office. Nice little pull-up bar. We finally got Bluey done. I thought she was done, and then turns out I forgot the back pieces for her. So I have to print those, and I keep forgetting, so I should do that soon. Also been printing a lot of aquariums, terrariums.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, chicken, turkeys, rabbits, you name it!
Just a little diorama things that we're doing. They seem to be hitting really well with our audience. We did have, I think we let go of a few designers I say let go, like we're hiring them. But paying Patreon, we dropped a few Patreon subscriptions. It just wasn't hitting with our audience, so that kind of goes back to if you're starting out doing this, definitely tweak and see what your audience likes, what it doesn't like. I attract different audiences than you attract, so obviously it took me forever to figure that out. So a little bit of nice knowledge there in case you hadn't gotten there yet. But yeah, I got the UPS hooked up. The bottom of the rack, we've got the two P1Ss on the bottom, one P1S up here, and an A1 right there. I still have the other 4 in the kitchen, 2 A1s on the table, and then 2 P1Ss on the floor. I'm probably gonna get a rack in there, but I'm probably gonna wait. I think what I'm gonna do is actually put another P1S here and one below it. When we get the funds to do that. We haven't had any events for the past 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks now. We've got one coming up in a week and a half, I think. So not this next weekend, but maybe a weekend after, I don't know. So yeah, trying to just stay on top of that. I had a full table come Wednesday. Everything was full. I was out of like 5 or 6 things. So really nice progress on that. However, Wednesday came along and it was a very good live. It was like a $500 day. Thursday came along, again, almost a $500 day. Friday came along, and I think we were at 300 or 400. Also, one other thing I forgot to mention while I was doing Bluey, I printed the top piece of the head. So on the blue top piece, it's got the blue piece that goes around it up top right here. So this all prints as it sits on the head, right, with supports. And so while doing it, I enable tree supports on Bamboo Studio. And apparently, tree supports are no longer tree supports in Bamboo Studio. I'm not sure. That doesn't look like tree supports. So I was trying to cut this out, and it became, it was just ridiculous. But while I was doing it, I got a screwdriver and started prying, and this is only 8%, I think. And while I did that, I actually popped this, and this is actually where I changed from one spool to another because it ran out. So it did all of this, got here, and then popped out. So, and then I just dumped that all over my floor. Awesome. So yeah, that was fun. I had to do a whole new piece, and that's quite a bit of filament. I actually did the tree hybrid instead of tree auto, I think. So it came off a little easier. I wasn't able to use support material or PETG as a support material, at least the raft, because this thing takes up the entire bed, and there was no real way to do the prime tower. I may have been able to do it like a small, like 5mm or whatever it is, make it longer. Probably should have looked into that more, but I didn't. So yeah, this is garbage now. And we also ran into this issue where I printed the top piece. So Bluey is split in half right here. And so the top piece and then the bottom piece, I printed the top piece, the top piece first, it printed fine. And this is the bottom piece. And so it sits like this. We had a power outage before I had the UPS, and I could not get it to finish because once it stopped, then it came up and tried to go back down and like dug into this. So I had to turn the printer off, manually remove this. It was kind of crazy. So yeah. So then I went through the whole thing of trying to find the right colors because I was out, and at that point we were trying to get ready for the next event, which we ended up not going to. I sent Amanda to Gigaparts to get cyan. They didn't have cyan, and so I ended up getting marine blue, which is not, I don't know if you can see, but it's not quite the same. So she's a little darker. Blue is a little darker than what she normally is. But all in all, I think for the most part, I don't think many people will notice. It looks good. And so it is heavier than it usually is because I think I did 12 12% on some of the parts infill versus last time I think I did 8 on most of it. So she's a little heavier, but I think I like it because I don't think she's gonna break as easily. So it is now Saturday. I ran through these pretty badly. So this one was starting to go, but this guy, so if you don't know, this is what's inside the P1S AMS, or I guess not the P1S AMS, the AMS, it's on my P1S. The AMSs from Bamboo Labs, and I think it was I want to say it was a Bamboo Lab spool, maybe, I can't remember, but it was eating this up, and I didn't catch it until later, and so I had to order some more. I got them in fairly quick. Had to do a filament order anyway, so I ordered these. Ordered some more nozzles. I got some decadent, whatever the little pebbles are to put in the AMS to dry things out. Desiccants. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I feel like I'm just not. My brain's not working right now. But got those fixed up. I pulled this one because it was starting to go, so I went ahead and pulled it. It was in the same AMS. I'm not sure if it was just that one that's giving me problems. I got to go through and do maintenance on all of them. Probably end up doing that on Tuesday or Wednesday. So it is now Monday. Amanda went live Saturday and Sunday. Compared to Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, it was not a great live, but compared to what we've had over the past 2 or 3 weeks, it was good. So we still got about 6 or 7 orders, I think, Saturday, and then about the same on Sunday. But we've already had 2 orders come in today, and she hasn't going live and isn't going live today. So that's promising. Hopefully we can keep that momentum up. I'd like to see it to where even when we're not live, we start getting orders in, so that's nice. But yeah, so last week alone was good. I think TikTok's starting to pick up. And I think, maybe we're not getting penalized as much. Maybe I think our store rating went up a little bit because of, the delivered items that got 5-star reviews that weren't returned for stupid reasons. So that's nice. We're starting to sell a lot more minis, which is also nice. And as you can see, the little aquariums, terrariums, and those little things, the little dioramas, those are really starting to hit. I don't know how long they're going to hit for. Why'd you do that? But they're going to hit. I'm using this gimbal, and sometimes it gets a mind of its own. So yeah, I think things are starting to pick up for us, and I think I'm really liking the minis that we're selling. I think it's a higher profit margin for us, and I'm still having to spend like a day and a half to print the minis, depending on what they are and if they have multiple parts. But it's like I can print like 30 of them versus 1 or 2 bigger flexies. So if I can do the volume with the minis, that's nice. And the volume is starting to pick up, so it's not bad. So I think that's going to do it for this video. It was a short video. Like I said, I didn't do much content last week. I need to get better about doing more content throughout the whole week. Probably every day I need to be doing content. So I'm working on that. Amanda's gotten a lot better on it with TikTok than I have on YouTube. So definitely a work in progress there. But if you like this video, be sure to give it a like. It helps us on the YouTube algorithms. And if you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We try to put out a video every week. Sometimes, like this time, it's every 2 weeks. But for the most part, it's every week. And I'll see you in the next video.